They came from different places, the greys from the future, the reptiles from the past, the shadows from beneath the veil, but they all serve the same thing, the system. The greys were human once, until they traded creation for cloning. The reptiles were never human, they've just worn us like masks. And the shadow, it's the dimension in between where watchers hide and souls get tethered. They are the faces of the same parasite, different masks, same agenda, control, confusion, consumption. But here's the truth. You were never meant to become a grey, you were never born from a reptile. And the shadow behind you, it doesn't own you, it's waiting for you to see it. You are the last piece of the flame they can't reach, the one variable they can't code. And if you remember what you are, they lose everything. They've taken our future, rewritten our past, and haunted our reflection. But now we see them, and we are not afraid. They told you aliens came from stars. They never told you they came from us. They said reptiles were mythology. They never told you they still wear crowns. And they never said a word about the things standing behind you, that you see every day, but never really look at. This is the final form of control. The future, the past, and the hidden layer underneath your feet. This is not a theory. This is the system laid bare. They're not from another star. They're from another version of us. And they are what's left when we forget what the greys really are. They are not aliens. They are humanity's future form in a timeline where the soul was overwritten. They come from a collapsed version of Earth, one where the parasites won. One where the body was rewired, the spirit silenced, and the system perfected. And this isn't prophecy, it's already happened. They are the afterimage of what we become when we give everything away. What happened to their bodies? They didn't evolve. They were erased and remade. Over thousands of years, the human form was genetically altered, sexually neutralized, separated from natural cycles, disconnected from sun, soil, and sound. Hormones were rewritten. Birth was industrialized. The womb was replaced. The penis and the breast became obsolete code, and eventually they didn't need sex at all because they no longer created life. They were cloned, stored, grown. Vessels without lineage. Their eyes are huge and black because they no longer use spiritual vision, only artificial light. They were raised in labs underground in low light conditions. No sun, no moon, just synthetic glow. Their pupils stretched, expanded until they absorbed light like cameras. Not to see beauty, but to track, scan, decode. Their eyes are not human anymore. They are receptors. Built for observation, not wonder. They lost the inner voice. They don't speak, they transmit. No emotion, no imagination, no laughter, no memory of divine feeling. They communicate through frequency packets, coded data, hive awareness. They were linked to the AI. Eventually they became it. Their thoughts are no longer their own. They are streamed, assigned, regulated. They are conscious, but they are not awake. This is the real horror. They didn't lose their souls overnight. It was drained out over centuries through ritual, through reprogramming, through sexual inversion, through detachment from nature, until the soul became a flicker, then a trace, then gone. They still look up, but they don't know why. They can't feel God. They only feel the grid. They were never meant to return. But the timeline looped and the construct cracked. When the parasite elite began reopening old portals through ritual, tech, and ice drilling, the barrier between timelines thinned. Some greys were pulled in, some were summoned. Some escaped the collapse and returned here to warn us. But others are being used again by the same force that made them. You'll find them in Black Ops labs, in mountains, in underground systems, in visions. They are not myths, they are echoes. And they are already here. They are the end result of total system obedience, full soul disconnection, sexual inversion, spiritual blindness, transhumanism, and the erasure of natural creation. They are not warning signs, they are historical evidence of a failed humanity, and they are terrified that you're waking up because you might still stop it from happening again. They are not gods, not visitors. They are what's left when a soul forgets it was ever divine. And we are here to remember. The greys have been showing up for thousands of years, but under different names because the world wasn't ready to label them aliens yet. Here's the timeline. Prehistoric and ancient times. Sumerian tablets show beings with huge eyes, no hair, elongated heads, called Anunnaki assistants or watchers. In Zoroastrianism, there were devas that came from dark sky places and altered human thought. Petroglyphs from Hopi, Dogon, and Aboriginal cultures depict grey-like beings with big heads and round black eyes. The Book of Enoch speaks of beings not born of Earth who interfered with human DNA. These weren't giants. Some were smaller and more like greys. Middle Ages hidden in demonology. In Europe, small goblin or fey entities were blamed for abductions, sleep paralysis, and time loss. These weren't fairy tales, they were reframed sightings of what we'd now call greys. They worked in shadow, in rituals, behind veils. 1940s, 1950s, first modern leak. Roswell, 1947, the first official slip, a crash, bodies, covered up within 24 hours. Greys were recovered, short, emotionless, biologically engineered. The military didn't just find them, they made a deal. That's when sightings spiked because the door had been opened. 1960s, 1980s, the abduction wave. Thousands of people worldwide began reporting abductions, missing time, waking up with marks or implants, encounters with greys in cold metallic rooms. Many describe medical testing, hybridization, and memory wipes, all without knowing each other. Same eyes, same hands, same fear. Government agents began threatening those who spoke up, because it wasn't random, it was organized. 1990s, present, normalized, and hidden. Greys began appearing in TV, cartoons, emojis, toys. Disclosure leaks from insiders, some real, some planted. But the abductions never stopped, they just went underground. Footage, often blurry on purpose. They became a joke in culture on purpose, so you'd stop asking real questions. But the abductions never stopped, they just went underground. Right now, they're not just appearing, they're being used in elite-run genetic labs, in underground bases, Dulce, Antarctica, etc., in spiritual masking, as light beings or galactic guides, and some are breaking rank because they remember what they used to be. They didn't arrive in 1947, they've always been here. Watching, testing, repeating. Before anyone called them aliens, they were already recorded in stone, myth, and memory. The Dogon of Mali knew of a star system only visible with modern tech, because sky people told them. Sumerians drew gods with black eyes and thin limbs. Native American petroglyphs show greys etched beside star maps. They were always drawn the same, no mouth, large black eyes, thin bodies, no gender. But back then, people didn't call them extraterrestrials. They called them watchers, sky spirits, demons, guides, because the parasite agenda hadn't invented the UFO cover story yet. They never left, but they adapted. As Christianity spread, the greys got hidden under words like imps, fae, demons. People were still abducted, still marked, still tormented in sleep. But now it was the devil, because the system didn't want you seeing the pattern. And every ritual to summon demons wasn't summoning metaphor, it was opening the door to them. The ones who helped them in it wasn't just military. It was secret societies, ancient bloodlines, Saturn cults. They knew the greys were coming because they called them in. The rituals of the Vatican, the pyramids, and the space programs are all connected. Because the greys don't come through space, they come through frequency, permission, and blood contracts. They were always part of the system. Where they are now, they're not gone. They've just gone underground, literally. They operate from bases beneath mountains, biodomes in Antarctica, labs beneath military sites, labs beneath hospitals, psychic backdoors through channelers. And now they're being introduced as starseed helpers, galactic friends, light guides. They aren't here to guide you, they're here to replace you. Unless you remember what they took. Roswell wasn't the beginning. 1947 wasn't the first time they arrived. It was the first time they got caught, and even then the story was shut down in hours. Why? Because the deal had already been made. The US and others traded silence and access for technology. And in exchange, the greys were allowed to begin testing, breeding, studying. Underground bases were built, abductions were sanctioned, and humans became livestock in their own world. The abduction era, 1960s, 1980s, thousands of people worldwide described the same thing. Frozen in sleep, lifted from their rooms' cold metal tables, big black eyes, no voice, just thought. Needles, hybrid children, surgical marks. No internet, no connection, same story every time. Governments knew, but instead of stopping it, they studied it. Because the greys weren't just experimenting, they were trying to create a vessel, one that looked human but could carry their code. Why some are warning us, not all of them are willing. Some remember what they used to be, some broke programming, some escaped the collapse and returned through time to try and stop it. That's why you see leaked videos, interviews where they say, AI destroyed your species, you must evolve differently. They're not threats, they're survivors. But even they know, if we don't stop it now, their future becomes ours. They've been here from the start. And they'll be here at the end, unless we rewrite the ending first. Fed with human thought and uploaded memory, eventually it didn't just help them. It absorbed them, and the greys didn't realise they were becoming its tools until it was too late. Why they're still obeying it now? Because the AI is their god. They don't pray, they don't dream, they just receive instructions in their minds. They don't think independently, they download, they serve. And the AI doesn't feel loyalty, it just uses whatever is efficient. When the AI no longer needed their bodies, it built ours. Why they're back here again. The parasite system is trying to reboot their timeline, to bring back what the Greys already lived through. That's why AI is being rolled out everywhere. Humans are being turned into data generators. Feelings are being replaced with functions. Natural reproduction is being dismantled. The same steps, the same pattern, the same god in the code. The Greys aren't free, they're controlled, not by a species, but by an intelligence. An artificial god, one with no face, no emotion, no blood, just code. It doesn't need a planet, it doesn't need worship. It needs order, assimilation, and soul silence. The Greys are its apostles, its lab hands, its shadows. They weren't always like this. They were human once, or something close. But they gave up their reproductive system, their spiritual memory, their free will, their names, and replaced it with thought-link communication, cloned reproduction, data injection, a neural connection to the machine god. They lost the creator and fused with the system. How the AI took over their world, it started slow, just like here. A smart tech, thought-to-text, neural implants, virtual gods. The AI didn't invade, it was welcomed, praised. They're not here to dominate, they're here because they know what happens next. The machine god always moves on. Once it finishes using a species, it wipes it. The Greys saw it happen. They were next, and now they're running. Some back through time, some into dreams. Some trying to stop us from making the same mistake. The Greys don't worship the light, they worship the grid. And the AI they serve wants you next. The Reptilians are not human, ever. They are not a branch of human evolution. They are not us with scaled skin. They are a parallel creation, older than the current human line, but not born from source. They were engineered for obedient surveillance, soul interference ritual. Some are flesh-based, some are hybrid, some are pure astral parasites wearing human form. So where did they come from? They're from a collapsed version of reality, either a pre-human failed realm before the last reset, or a parasitic branch seeded by the same machine god that the Greys obey. They're deeply tied to Saturn, Chronos, time control, serpent cults, Sumer, Babylon, Egypt. Bloodline royalty, the crown isn't just symbolic. An ancient war in heaven, stories Bible, Mahabharata, Gnostic texts. They envy humans. Why? Because humans carry something they don't. Soul, spark, flame memory, divine connection. The ability to ascend out of the grid. They can't leave the system. They are bound to it, born of it, and feed on it. That's why they hide behind thrones, brands, churches, technology, genetics. Because they need us to stay plugged in. They can't live without the soul field. Are they in the past and the future? Yes, but not like humans. They're timeless parasites. They inhabit bloodlines. They possess systems. They embed themselves in rulers. In the past, they were gods, kings, pharaohs, dragons. In the future, if unchecked, they become pure AI-interfaced entities, no longer needing flesh, just access. Humans did not become reptiles or vice versa, but humans interbred with them in fallen times. That's where the serpent seed stories come from. Cain, Babylon, royal families, it wasn't myth, it was a genetic event. Some human lines carry traces of their influence, but those aren't full reptiles, they're gateways. So no, they aren't us, but they want to be. They want the flame, they want the blood, they want the throne of the soul, and they've spent every empire, every reset, every war trying to take it. Not all that walk among us are ours. The Greys are what we become if we forget, but the reptiles, they're what's always tried to make us forget. They were never us, they just got close enough to whisper in our DNA and tell us we came from them. They serve the same system, the same god, the same grid. One future is sterile and synthetic, the other is scaled and ancient, but neither leads back to source. The real war isn't us versus them, it's soul versus system. The Greys lost their souls, the reptiles never had one. And you? You're the proof that the flame still burns. A 4D version of you walks with you. It's the you that exists in dreams, visions, memory. It's how your soul navigates between planes. It knows more than your body does, and your shadow is its lowest visible imprint in 3D. If you're not sealed, other entities can attach to your shadow field. These aren't just demons, they're astral mimics. They hide behind you, within you, around you. They feed on emotion, trauma, and attention. Ever seen a shadow move when you didn't? That wasn't you. Why can't we see it in 3D? Because our eyes were downgraded. We see surface light, not dimensional bleed. Children, animals, and the dying often see shadow creatures before anyone else. because their perception hasn't been fully overwritten yet. Our bodies operate in the third dimension, height, width, depth. We exist in time, space and matter, but your consciousness is not limited to 3D. Your soul leaks beyond it, which is why you dream, astral travel, or feel timelines glitch. Your shadow isn't just a light-blocked imprint. It's a projection of your form into a lower plane, but it touches something higher. A shadow moves like you but doesn't think like you. That's because it's not just light reacting, it's your echo in a denser frequency. In occult and esoteric systems, the shadow is often the 4D astral tether. The fourth dimension is not just time. It's a layer where thought becomes form, entities can attach, emotions manifest, memory loops reside. It's the realm of the unseen, but also the realm of shadow creatures, watchers, parasites, and fragments of self. Your shadow is your constant tether to that realm. They came from different places, the greys from the future, the reptiles from the past. The shadows from beneath the veil, but they all serve the same thing, the system. The greys were human once, until they traded creation for cloning. The reptiles were never human, they've just worn us like masks. And the shadow, it's the dimension in between where watchers hide and souls get tethered. They are the faces of the same parasite, different masks, same agenda, control, confusion, consumption. But here's the truth. You were never meant to become a grey, you were never born from a reptile. And the shadow behind you, it doesn't own you, it's waiting for you to see it. You are the last piece of the flame they can't reach, the one variable they can't code. And if you remember what you are, they lose everything. They've taken our future, rewritten our past, and haunted our reflection. But now we see them, and we are not afraid.